Hey guys, we are back in Danny's route for bad ending number 2, and we got some exciting music to lead us into this. So, I have reloaded to where Alfred dragged us into the dark goo. And this time we are not going to hide. This is all the same choices up to this point that I did for bad ending number 1, but I am not hiding this time. We'll get kidnapped by werewolf boys instead. That's much better. Okay, now on to new choices once again. So, starting with this. I tried to turn my head away, unable to stop the tears that filled my eyes. Please stop this! Let me go! I didn't know what they were trying to give me, but given the circumstances, I didn't think it was going to be good for my well-being. Derek forced me to look straight ahead again. He looked upset, but somehow that just made me angry. If he didn't want to do this, then why was he going along with it?
I'm sorry.
I struggled, but couldn't wriggle free. Let me go!
Derek, just make her drink it. We don't have much time left.
Alright, are we back? Yep, we're back. We're back to scaldingness. And she's gone. Bye, Rule. Okay, this choice is this one, which we didn't do last time. What? How?
Well, we do deal in information. It would be strange if I didn't know who you were.
Would it? Would it be strange if you didn't know that off the top of your head?
I think it would be.
That's creepy.
I'm not sure if I should be insulted by that.
Sorry, but I don't exactly recall telling you.
Well, we're familiar with most of the strange events that have taken place in this town.
My disappearances weren't even that strange.
They were pretty strange. Given the previous disappearance of your brother especially. 3 times with one family?
Wait. What? Spencer never... I hissed as pain exploded through my head. Alright, we're back. Memories are flooding in. What's this one? Oh yeah, about going to pieces. Let's see. This one this time. I'm still just trying to get my head around it. I'm still trying to get my head around this, to be honest. I don't think I can properly react until I get what's actually going on. I mean, soul swapping, body transfers. Not to mention that I can't even remember half of what happened in the last month. It's hard to freak out when I haven't even had time to fully absorb everything yet. I thought about that for a moment. I'm pretty sure I'll freak out later. I mean, it wasn't a lie. Once I was able to really grasp it all, a freak out was inevitable. Whoops. Bang my elbow. Look, right now, I'm just trying to work out what all this means. I took a deep breath, trying to steady myself. So, now what? Now we go back to skipping. That's what. Alright, time to let my inner fairy out. Do I get something in return? Kaya blinked slightly, then let out a dry laugh.
Well, I guess I'd owe you a favor.
Hey, nothing in life is free.
How very fey of you.
That's a human saying, you know.
Maybe.
Uh-oh. Make me question everything. She stood.
Or maybe all those years in fairy really did have an effect on you. After all, fairies never give anything away for free.
Hey, I didn't get help for free either, you know.
Fair enough. Do let me know if you remember anything and we'll work something out.
She returned to the front of the shop and I found myself really wondering what her story was. I had a feeling she wouldn't tell me even if I asked. Them fays. I guess this one doesn't matter? Let's see. I guess she's gonna talk to us no matter what, so... What do I feel like? I did this the first time. That. Actually, I'm kind of in the middle of an existential crisis, so I prefer that you didn't. She raised an eyebrow. Also an important meeting. Of sorts. Though the meeting was kind of over already. Rachel looked around the empty table, then back at me. We won't be long. And then the stupid werewolf jerk sat in the chair across from me and folded her hands. She looked at me expectantly, apparently assuming I'd sit and converse like a civilized person. I elected to stand and look down at her instead. Because no matter what else was fuzzy, I did recall that I didn't like her. Alright. And we're back to our meeting that we didn't ask for. Bang, bang, bang. Okay. This time I'm going for help. I knew throwing myself between two werewolves would have been incredibly dumb. But I couldn't let them fight. Danny didn't have great control of his transformations. I did remember that. If he accidentally transformed in front of everyone, I didn't know what would happen. I had to get help. Someone caught a hold of my wrist and jerked me back just as I turned to get a teacher. I didn't even look. I just swung around with my book bag. Well, luckily, it went to the right person. It made solid contact with Derek's head. He released me and I ran for the door. I burst into the hallway and...
Nora?
Thank God! I knew that voice. Elliot! Danny is fighting with Sean. We have to stop him.
I heard something was up. I'll handle it.
He sort of gently moved me aside and ran into the cafeteria. We're gonna miss his epic punch. I still felt like I needed to get someone because while I trusted Elliot to be able to at least maybe not get killed if he jumped in, I didn't think he'd be able to actually defuse the situation. But I didn't know where I should go or who I should get. A normal teacher? Would they be able to do anything? Velos? The clubroom was so far away, though. I made a split decision and sprinted for the teacher's lounge. The fight needed to stop now. When I rounded the corner near the break room, to my great relief, I saw a familiar figure heading in. Velos! Velos! He stopped and backtracked, staring at me with surprise.
Miss Lewis, what on earth?
I nearly smashed into him in my attempt to grab him and head back to the cafeteria. Danny! Fighting! Sean!
Danny is fighting with Sean.
Have to stop them! I pulled him with me and he acquiesced, jogging along behind me as I ran back to the cafeteria.
Care to fill me in on what's happening?
Sean and Derek. Something to do with werewolves. That seemed to be what it took to get him worried. He pulled his arm free and rushed ahead of me. I was honestly surprised he could run so fast. We reached the cafeteria moments later and entered to dead silence. I doubled over, grabbing my knees as I surveyed the situation and tried to catch my breath. The crowd of kids had widened to form a huge circle around Danny and Sean. Elliot was slumped down near an overturned table. Chairs were scattered. Elliot! Danny was staring in horror, one arm slightly raised. Did he do that?
That's enough!
Danny glanced our way, and my heart nearly stopped when I saw his face. He was partially transformed. More than he had been on the street the day he fought with Liam. Oh no. Our eyes met, and he instantly reverted back to himself. The look on his face just hurt. He released Sean and just fled, pushing past Velos and I to get out of the cafeteria. Elliot was already picking himself up off the floor. I shot Velos a look. He nodded slightly and I went after Danny. I just hoped I could catch Danny. I had no idea where he might be headed. I saw him quite a bit further down the hallway than I expected and tried to pick up the pace. He quickly outdistanced me, but it looked like he might be headed for the club room. Such a fast boy. And this choice breaks my heart. Just leaving him alone. I felt like I didn't have much choice but to do as he asked. At this point, if I stayed, I'd probably just upset him more. This whole mess was my fault in the first place. And how do you figure that one, girl? All right. I'll go. If he was going to push me away, there was nothing I could do for him, was there? I couldn't stand beside someone who didn't want me to stand beside them. I set my hand on the knob and hesitated only a second before I pulled it open.
Nora.
Yeah?
I'm so sorry.
What are you apologizing for?
It's because of me that Sean and Derek...
I'm sorry too.
You have no reason.
You try to take all the blame, but the fact is that this happened because of me, not you. Because I didn't listen. Because of my weird problem. And I'm sorry I can't help you feel better or convince you that you're not to blame. You told me to rely on you. I know it's selfish of me, but I want you to rely on me too. I'm sorry that because of me, you've ended up feeling guilty like this.
No, that...
He stopped and was silent. He was sitting just 15 feet away from me, but it felt so far away. I didn't know how to reach him. So I left. I walked into the club and shut the door, standing there with my back to it for a long time. Long enough for Elliot to come bursting into the club room out of breath. Our eyes met and he instantly came toward me.
Danny?
He's in the courtyard. He doesn't want to talk to me. Elliot hesitated, then came closer.
I don't think that's true. I think he's just mad at himself, probably.
You okay?
Yeah.
He laughed awkwardly.
I mean, I've never wanted to fight Danny before, but now I really never want to fight him seriously.
I couldn't manage a smile.
Hey, I'll go talk to him, okay?
Yeah, I think he definitely needs a friend right now. I just don't think it can be me.
And, I'm sorry about...
Please don't apologize to me. I'm tired of everyone apologizing to me. Nothing is your fault.
Really?
He reached a hand toward me almost hesitantly, then pulled it back.
I don't really know what he said or did or anything, but just so you know, Danny really likes you. A lot. I mean, I've never seen him, you know, like someone this way before. So, don't give up on him, okay?
I don't think I'm the one giving up. I shook my head and stepped aside. She says, having given up just like a few minutes ago. Go talk to him, okay? I think he'll feel better knowing you're not unconscious somewhere or something.
Yeah.
He went through to the courtyard, leaving me alone. I didn't really know what I should do anymore. As it happened, Velos didn't let me go back to class straight away as I expected. Danny, Elliot, and I all had to go to the library to write statements about what happened. I was a witness since I had gotten to the cafeteria first. Well, and because of what had happened just before then. Okay, are we back? We're back. We're back, baby! Alright, so the same note. Different reaction. I didn't know what to do with it now. He left me this, but it really seemed like he didn't want me around, so... why? Why give me something if he was just going to push me away?
Nora?
Allie was just behind me with a worried look on her face. Yeah? She looked at the white box in my hand. Are we back? Yep. Did you want to put it on? Yeah. I don't know. Come on. He gave it to you to be worn. I hesitantly turned around, lifting my hair off my neck. She slipped the necklace on and fastened the clasp at the back. There. I turned around and she smiled. It looks good. Thanks, girl. Thanks for talking her into it. Spencer, what am I doing with you? Are you killing me? You killing me, my bro? Could just be for stray cats inside, man. You ever think about that? That could just be for stray cats. Ugh. In the basement. Maybe. But it's not, is it? I took a deep breath and regarded him silently. He was right, of course. And if I was serious about this, I was going to have to start making some admissions about things. It just wasn't easy. Not after all the secrecy. And definitely not knowing how he was going to react. But at least he seemed calm at the moment. I just hoped he stayed that way. Okay, you're right. It's not for cats. Are we back? Not yet. I want you to tell me what is going on. I want you to tell me who and what you really are. I studied his face carefully. He was dead serious, and I wasn't sure how to proceed. I hadn't been expecting to have this conversation today. Alright. Are you gonna believe me? Okay. Conversation seemed to go well. I have to apologize now, though, so we'll see how that goes. I'm sorry for this. All the fights lately, the pranks, everything. I'm so sorry. This whole time, I just have been treating you like you're crazy, and that wasn't fair at all. Hey, he didn't flip out over crazy. I understand the reason. In the end, what room do I have to get angry? I haven't treated you all that great either. Well, you had your reasons. He took a deep breath and let it out slowly. Do you mind if I just go sit out front for a bit? I think I need to absorb all this. It's not that I don't believe, at least some of it. It's just a lot. No, I understand. Go ahead. I'll clean up in here. Although you really should go upstairs and not outside, because there's werewolves out there. Spencer stood, frowning heavily. Why do you think Mom and Dad never mentioned me going missing that time? I thought it was a dream, but you remember it too. But they never have said anything about it. It seems like my memories of that event were sealed up. Yours probably were too. I mean, this is just a theory, but maybe the seal on your memories broke down over time, or started to, and that's why you remembered those events as a dream. But to Mom and Dad, maybe it seemed like we'd forgotten it entirely. So maybe they thought it was best to just not say anything about it. We can always ask them when they get back. Wouldn't they have seals too? That would be my first thought, is like maybe their memories were sealed as well. No, I mean, we can't tell them any of this. They wouldn't believe us anyway. And how would we explain why we're suddenly bringing that up? It would just worry them. You're probably right. What's going to happen now that you told me everything? Do I have to join that club? I don't know. I think Allie was going to try to talk to you soon anyway. I guess now we'll just have to talk to Velos and see what happens next. I still haven't entirely worked out where you fit into everything. Spencer nodded. I'm sorry. I know. It's a lot to take in. Spencer just shrugged. It's been a lot. For a long time. This isn't worse than anything else that's happened. I guess that's true. I'll be outside for a while. He shoved his hands in his pockets and disappeared into the foyer. It didn't seem like things were going to just magically improve. But he seemed better. At the very least, the air between us was clear now. No more secrets. That made me happy at any rate. I picked up our empty mugs and went to rinse them out, dried them, and put them away. What? What's the dealio? I was in the middle of wiping them out when the brownie tumbled downstairs, chattering angrily. What do you want? It glared at me, its voice rising in pitch. Yeah, I can't understand you. Sorry. My phone chimed and I went to go check it, keeping an eye on the brownie, which had started to run around in circles. I'm so sorry, man. I don't know what you're saying. Oh, that's an ominous text. Definitely not Spencer who sent it. Probably Liam. But I'll read it in Spencer's voice. Come outside. Okay. What the heck? I left my phone on the counter like a smart person, shot the frantic brownie a last look, and padded to the front. Were you trying to warn me about the werewolves? I slipped on a pair of flats by the door and stepped onto the porch. Spencer! Oh no, he's crying! Spencer, no! He was at the end of the driveway with Liam standing behind him, holding him tightly. He looked terrified. Blood was dripping down one arm. I didn't even know what to do.
Miss Lewis, glad you could join us. Why don't you step off the porch and come this way? It seems you have a barrier around your house that's making it a little difficult for us to pick you up today.
I didn't even know what to do. I was trying to work out a way to get Spencer and I out of this, but they had him and just... I stepped off the porch, biting my lip.
Nora, stay away!
Spencer. He had already been through so much because of me. Too much. His eye, years of stress and fear. I couldn't let anything else happen to him. I stopped just inside the barrier Allie created, which I could still faintly see. Let him go and I'll go with you.
Nora, don't!
Spencer, shut it.
How can I believe you?
Do I look like I'm lying? I took a deep breath and stepped through the shield, walking close enough I was just out of arm's reach. Let him go. Liam narrowed his eyes and shoved Spencer in the dirt. He grabbed my arm and pulled me away.
No!
He jumped to his feet, but the two wolves behind Liam snarled at him as Liam tossed me in the car. Helpless, Spencer watched, still clutching his injured arm. I'll be fine! Spencer, don't worry about me, okay? I'll be fine. Then the wolves hopped in after me, Liam slammed the door, and we were driving off down the street. I craned my neck back and saw Spencer still watching us as we disappeared around the corner. Tried to save her again. Smack. Alright, barrier has been done, and now I need to save. Abrupt music change, and we're back. So this is the last choice between this bad end and the next bad end. So, for this bad ending, we need to leave Sean behind. Sorry, Boo. Good luck. I knew I had to leave him and go get help. If he was with me, I wasn't sure we'd be able to get away. Sean, I'll come back for you. I promise. I'm going for help.
Be careful. There might be more of them.
I nodded and ran toward what seemed to be a back entrance, which was a rickety, falling-apart door. I could hear the others stirring behind me as I shoved it open and ran outside. That was a big mistake. There was a wolf sentry right outside the door. Great. I heard the growl before I saw its massive form leaping at me. With a scream, I staggered away, panicking at the sight of its bared teeth. 2 more wolves rounded the edge of the building as I fled. I wasn't really all that fast without shoes, and I didn't have much of a head start either. Now back into the woods I go. There was Allie's spell, but they were right behind me. If I slowed down for even a second, they'd be on me. And this time I had a feeling I wouldn't escape unscathed. I vaulted myself over a fallen log, biting my lip to keep from crying out when I came down on the thorny underbrush. Staggering into the trees, all I could do was hope beyond hope that I'd get away. Somehow. I could hear the wolves barreling behind me. I screamed as one snapped at my foot, the teeth grazing my ankle. I stumbled, losing my footing. Then I went down hard in ferns and blackberries. And then they were on me, all snarls, claws, and teeth. Through the haze of pain, I realized that this was it. I wasn't going to make it this time. And then everything went black as I felt cold teeth against my neck. Now the hungry lion roars, and the wolf behowls the moon. That's an appropriate quote. Alright, well. Eaten by wolves, werewolves. Maybe not eaten, but killed. And the wolf behowls the moon. Well, there you go. Alright, guys. Well, we got our bad ending number 2. Spencer didn't kill us! Hooray! But his sister died, so not so good for Spencer. Anyway, there you go. That was bad ending number 2. Hopefully I'll see you for bad ending number 3.